Welcome to Flourishing Flame, from burning out to burning bright with therapist and coach Leah Brown. Are you a people helper or caregiver, feeling overwhelmed, distant, cynical, and crispy around the edges? Join me to defeat burnout by learning how to manage stress and create deep connective relationships with others so that you can pursue your calling, providing light and warmth to those around you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of The Flourishing Flame. Over the last several episodes, we've been looking at our own lives and have been reflecting on our own personalities, experiences, values, capacity, priorities, and frameworks, and looking at what does that mean to us to take these things into consideration as we're looking at how we can do our jobs in service to others even better. And I would like to transition us a little bit that we're going to start looking at for the next several episodes, how we take all of these things that we've looked at for ourselves, kind of translate them to how they play out in relationships with others. We are wired for relationships. And so as we are looking at how we relate to other people, we are going to be looking at their uniquenesses, just like we looked at our own, the similarities we have with them, differences, and a lot of times the things that can annoy us from other people or about other people are the things that annoy us about ourselves. I don't know if you remember anything like this, but when I was a kid and my mom would say, when you point at someone, you have three fingers pointing back at you, that often those things that are the most irritating in other people are things that are our own weaknesses. We're going to be looking at understanding other people and their uniqueness and having curiosity about it, and how curiosity is a key to building relationships. Another key to building relationships is believing the best. Instead of looking for the worst, instead of looking at it as what's the most negative thing that this could mean, that we're actually looking at how do we believe the best about the other person. And then we're going to be looking at gratitude in our relationships with other people. So one thing that I use often in working with people, whether it is in my Burnout Buster Blueprint course or in my one-on-one therapy, is thinking about the relationships that we have with other people like it's an account. And when we think about it that way, not that our relationship is transactional, but that we are looking at how we are making deposits and withdrawals in the account. So part of that is looking at it this way. If you do something for someone, or say something kind to someone, or support someone in one way or another, then you're making a deposit into your relationship account. And all of us make withdrawals from our relationship account because we're not in the best of moods maybe one day, or we forget something that we said we were going to do, or we're just downright rude. That happens with every relationship. And so when we're able to make more deposits than we are withdrawals, then that's helpful. And as we're looking for what are those things that are deposits in the relationship, it's more how the other person interprets the deposit that you made. So, for example, my husband loves it if I make any food. I could be making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but because I made it, it tastes better or something than if he makes it, which is fine. For me, making 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches instead of 1, or 2 salads instead of 1, is like a $5 cost to me. But to him, it feels like a $50 deposit. And so it's not just doing more good things than bad, but it's more choosing the things that are weighted in a way that the other person appreciates them more. So you probably can remember doing something for someone that you were happy to do it for them, and you were sacrificing for their benefit, but they didn't appreciate it as much as the amount of effort it took you to put out to do it. And so that's what I'm talking about when we're looking for ways to make deposits that are meaningful to the other person. When we can find that sweet spot of something that doesn't feel like a huge lift for us, but feels like a great blessing to them, that's the sweet spot. And keeping that in our brains as we're thinking about relationship and what is helpful in relationship, that can make a really big difference. So, we're going to be dipping into all kinds of things in the next several episodes. We're going to be looking back at the DISC personality assessment. We're going to be looking at ways that we can help people and be a blessing to other people. Looking at how we can do it the best for us, because we all have this desire to want to do good to others. I mean, that's why you're listening to this, because you work with people and you want to do it well. And so as we're going through, I want you to be paying attention to what are those things that feel natural for you? Because there's going to be examples and opportunities to bless others that run the gamut. I want you to focus on the things that you hear it and you say, oh, I can totally do that. That fits with how I'm wired. And use those things as your focus in figuring out how best to be able to use all of these tools and information that you're going to be getting over the next several weeks. As part of this series, I have several interviews that I'm going to be conducting. Some of them I've already done and some are coming up soon. I know this episode is a little shorter than they've been recently, but I just wanted to give you kind of a taste just to whet your appetite for what is coming, transitioning from looking at our own lives and our own personalities and experiences and values, our own capacity, our own priorities, our own frameworks, so that we can shift this a little bit and look at it from a different angle in relationship with other people and learn to use our curiosity and learn to believe the best and have gratitude in the relationships that we have with other people. I look forward to sharing these with you coming up. Until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me today. If this episode added kindling to your flame, please leave a review and pass it on to a friend who could use some encouragement. You can connect with me and find additional resources at leahlittlebrown.com. Now go forth and burn in all your brilliance.